Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Comfy Cozy Community Show. Yes, welcome back. So today, question of the day, what sort of project did you jump into that you were not expecting to actually finish and do well on? Let me know. I want to know about that, because that's today's topic. Today's topic is technically ripped again from The Boys on Distractable, where we're going to talk about the I am underqualified, but I can do it. I can definitely do it. So I wanted to talk about two particular instances in which case this happened, Two particular cases in which this happened. Nailed it. Talking. That's my thing. I can do it. I can talk. So, as mentioned previously on the channel before, I've picked up knitting as a hobby, hence the pretty stylistic little awesome beanie I got on my head right now. I made it myself. Super proud. But yeah, apart from that, I went from, I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know how the heck I'm supposed to do this, to, I'm going to make me a cardigan. Now, of course, this is one of those funny things where it's like, obviously, eventually, I'm going to get to the point where I know what I'm doing enough to make a cardigan. But we're not talking about eventually. We're talking about today. I'm making a cardigan. 1 second. Hi, I'm back. So, like I said, I have been working on this for a little bit, and I've written up a pattern that I'm going to be using for it. But currently, this is the part I'm working on right now, which is going to eventually be a sleeve. It's eventually going to be, uh-oh. 1 second, I'll be right back. Hi, I'm back. It's eventually going to be one of these. Now, of course, you're going to look at it and be like, dude, that thing's massive. Well, it's for me. It's for a big boy's arms. And I got me some big boy arms. But even still, it's pretty darn massive. Because I know what I'm doing. I'm actually trying to make it big. Because I want a big old baggy cardigan. You know, big old baggy sweater. And you're like, but dude, look at that. What the you looked at? Well, that comes with these. I have no idea what I'm doing, by the way. I am winging it. I didn't look up any patterns at all because I can do it. The wrist. So I'm going to have a cuff for my wrist. Yeah. Look at me planning things. And I'm approaching this completely ignorant as to what I'm supposed to do. This is the collar and the edge, so it's going to go all the way down around the collar and down on the edge. And of course, gotta have two wrists. So I'm approaching this completely ignorant, knowing full well that I do not know what the heck I'm doing, but I'm going to go ahead and try it because I can do this. I've made 2 scarves and I've made 3 scarves, even though one of them's for a toy. I made 3 scarves and a beanie. Obviously, I can make a cardigan. I know exactly what I'm doing. And then my mom sent me a picture of the one she's making. And, well, it put the threat of God in me, as it were. It put the fear of God into me. I'm going to put the picture into the video today, so you can see what my mom's doing, because she's doing it too. But she's been knitting since she was, well, a little bit younger than me, but she's been knitting for a long time. So she knows what she's doing. Like, she's actually been doing this. So, you know, for her, it's not a big deal. For me, she makes me look bad. But to be perfectly honest, I am bad. I don't know what I'm doing, really. I'm just having fun with it. But I'm doing okay. And I feel like with the plan I have in my mind, it's still going to work out. It's just not going to look very good. And then maybe after I'm done with it this time, I might actually look into following a pattern to make it. Like this, I followed a pattern to make. So I know how to follow a pattern. And honestly, after overcoming a few of my my hurdles, as it were, like the knit one, purl one, I actually managed to do it in this one. And I talked about that already. And also the knit two, purl two, I've done that. And as such, I feel like I am getting better and learning things. And even like I started to make another one of these. I'm almost done with that too. 1 second. So see, I started making another one of these, and immediately this one's better than the one I'm wearing. Because you see, it's got all the good ribs in it. Although it's got some twists and turns, and I don't know what happened up here. Just texture, we'll call it. But like, I'm almost done with this one, and this one is insanely better than the one I'm currently wearing. But that one's not for me. This one's for my buddy. I'm also going to learn how to put my initials into it. So I'm going to put SBG on it. StepsBasic Gaming on it. I might even see if I can do the whole like title of it, but I'm just going to stitch my initials into it first to, just kind of feeling for it. But anyway, so I know I'm learning and I know I'm doing better and improving over time. So let's talk about the second instance of it. Now, the fun part about this topic is I say, I can do that. But in this case, it's like I actually go and do it. I actually go and put myself into it. And like knitting, for example, I said, I know I can do this. And then I started doing it and I learned it and I'm doing it. And then yesterday, well, let's dial it back a little bit further. On Saturday, I told my friend, hey, I know you want that tree removed. I can do it. For those you don't know, I'm getting older, and it's getting noticeable, as it were. But I'm like, I can do it. And I go out there, having never chopped a tree down before in my life, knowing I can do this. Now, obviously, I use my brain. I don't just jump into it and start hacking away at the trunk of it. I use my brain. I'm like, I need to trim down the branches first. And so I'm climbing up there and I'm sawing. I have Sawzall, I have a handsaw, and I have loppers. And I use the loppers to take off all the little branches and start dropping them down. I use the Sawzall and the saw in conjunction to just kind of work down the branches, cutting them down in increments to make them smaller and more manageable, because the dump truck won't take any logs that are over 6 feet long. So obviously we need to not do that. So I'm chopping these branches down in increments to shrink to make them easier to manage. And then I'm like, oh God, these ones are hanging over the power lines over here. So it's like, I need to really be careful with this. And I'm sitting there grabbing it and pulling it back as I'm sawing on it. And it's like, it pops off. And it's like, I'm going to die. But I don't die. And I drop the branch and it's like, we're good. One time I cut it off and it slipped, twisted, and then fell and hit the lines and was just hanging off it. I'm like, oh God, I'm going to kill him. I'm going to destroy the power in the house. And that actually, I think it was the cable, but still, it was hanging onto the cables. And I'm like, But then I'm like looking at it and I'm approaching this from like, we're going to think this through. We're going to use the brain here and we're going to figure this out. And I go out there and I just start sawing on another end of it and pulling it back a little bit, and then it pops off, and I let it drop, and it flips back towards me, falls off of the lines, and I'm like, oh. I did manage to break her fence twice, but the two breaks were in weakened areas already, so she wasn't too much of she wasn't upset about it, and I'm like, yay. At the end of the day, literally, when I was done working, I had gotten all of the branches off of the tree. I'm going to put the pictures of that in the video too. I'd gotten all the branches off of the tree, and so now it's just the tree and like where all the branches were, and so it's just the trunk now, and so that's all the last part I have to go in and get, and that's going to be a bit more difficult because I don't have a chainsaw. I've got an axe. And I've got a handsaw, and I've got like I said, a Sawzall. So, yeah, that one's going to be a tricky one to get, but I'm going to get it. I said I'd do it, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it and I'm going to get it done. It's going to be great. So that's just two instances of the times when I've done this. Now, obviously, being as old as I am, I've gone into these sort of situations thinking, yeah, I can do that. I have a basic knowledge of what I'm doing. I can do that. And I've done that so many times in my life, but those two are the two that particularly stick out to me at the moment. But let me know which ones that you have done in your life, if you want to share, obviously. And yeah, let's see. Do we have any comments from this week? I don't think so. Oh, I got an S tier jokes. That was amazing. That was great. Are you a poo? No, I am not a poo. Why would you ask if I was a poo? I think that one had a matter of like, because I saw that somebody had commented on one of my videos, but then the comment didn't pop up, and I thought that was kind of weird. But yeah, just a few comments. Let's see. Announcements for the week. I have finished Leon's section, and I have all of the videos, all of the sections, and each one of them is in just one video. Hate myself for doing it. The first two episodes, I get kind of grumpy towards the end of them because it's like it's taking too long. But then the last three episodes I did really well, and I was much more calm, much more collected, much happier. And I feel like I was entertaining. And yeah, I feel like it's going to be a good series. I actually recorded the first episode of Doom from '93, the original Doom. So that's going to be fun and probably coming out sometime this week. Apart from that, that's the question of the day, the topic, the reading your comments, and now, yeah, that's it. Thank you all so much for joining me for this episode of the Grumpy Cozy Community Show. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and if you did, poke that like button for me. If you'd like to see more from me, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and of course, as always, you're more than welcome to leave comments in the comment section down below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. When I can, if I can, you know all that jazz. So tune in next time as we talk about another topic at another time, and until then, good night.